What's good, Joshua Boy Pitney the Beast? Welcome to ETB Hoops. So recently, the score released a poll that they did to see who was the best player in the world and who had the worst offseason this summer. So it was 20 coaches, execs, and scouts all across the league into one combined poll. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. For the best player in the world, they had 12 votes for Kawhi, 6 votes for Giannis, and 2 votes for James Harden. I went ahead and just did a little further research because I thought, maybe LeBron James should be thrown in there somewhere. So I went ahead and did some research. Also, there's a new NBA stat. If y'all haven't heard about it, its acronym is P.I.E. It stands for Player Impact Estimate. I'm going to go ahead and give you a definition of what that means. According to NBA.com, it means the estimate calculates a player's impact on each individual game that they play. The formula accounts for a player's influence relative to each game throughout the season. Well, it eliminates the statistical bias created by the style of play, the league, and whatever era that we're in. So I guess player efficiency rating wasn't good enough with how fast the league is changing, with superstars colliding together, how the league has expanded. Everyone's shooting behind the three-point line. There's a lot less, ground and pound game and whatnot. It's way faster now, so this stage had to create a new stat to try to keep up with how fast the league is developing. So I went ahead and put that stat for all 4 players, they're 3 players, and then LeBron James stats I put in there because I feel like he should be in that contention as well. He got no votes, but let's go ahead and get straight into it. So first of all, they picked Kawhi. Well, I'm going to start off with LeBron James stats and we'll compare. LeBron James averaged 27.4 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, 8.3 assists, 51% from the field, 1.3 steals per game, and about 1 block per game. And he played about 55 games this year. It's not a lot. His player impact estimate was 18.8%. You just remember that. Second of all, we have Kawhi Leonard. He averaged 26.6 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 49.6 from the field, 1.8 steals, and 0.6 blocks. He played 60 games. His player impact rating was 17.2%, so that's lower than LeBron James in almost every category. Almost every category except steals. He had half a percentage point more in steals than LeBron James. So that was who people picked as number 1, Kawhi Leonard, and he already is played more games than LeBron and had a lower P.I.E. and had lower stats all across the board except for steals. So second off, Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's 27.7 points per game. That's more than LeBron. 12.5 rebounds. That's absolutely a staggering amount. 5.9 assists. That's more than Kawhi. 57.8% from the field. That's the most that we're probably going to see. 1.3 steals and 1.5 blocks. So that's the most blocks and the second most, and tied with LeBron for second most steals. He played 72 games, 10 games off from the entire season, and 21.8 P.I.E. rating. That's higher than both Kawhi and LeBron James. And then lastly, James Harden. Points per game was 36.1. That's crazy. 6.6 rebounds, 7.5 assists. That's the second most compared to second to LeBron James. He shot 44.2 for the field. That's the lowest. 2 steals a game. That's the highest out of all 4 players. 0.7 blocks. That's tied with Kawhi Leonard. So for someone who gets so much slack for not playing defense, he's tied with Kawhi Leonard in blocks. Has 2 steals a game. Although people say that the steal stat kind of is different. You have to really look at their defensive rating because you can play the passing lanes in a great defensive system and get steals. But still, for all the slack he gets for not playing defense, 2 steals a game, 0.7 blocks a game. And he played 78 games this season, so only missed 4 games. And his P.I.E. was 20.1, so that's higher than LeBron James, and that's higher than Kawhi Leonard. So if you were to readjust this list, in my opinion, I feel like Giannis is the best player in the league. I feel like you can go Giannis, LeBron, and then Kawhi, and then maybe James Harden. James Harden could be debatable with Kawhi, in my opinion. I feel like, yeah, he played well. Maybe we can look at their playoff stats. He played really well, but he also is in the Eastern Conference. And he did beat Giannis. You have to give him that. But I feel like that's a team thing. You know, their team had a lot more depth. They beat them in like 6 games. So I feel like the league, it needs to be readjusted. Don't believe all the critics. Come to ETB Who's, baby. We got all the information, man. And then secondly, so who had the worst summers in the league? It was 6 votes for the Knicks offseason, 6 votes for Ricky Rubio to Phoenix, and 4 votes for Terry Rozier to the Hornets. So first, let's get into the Knicks offseason. We've already explained Jim Dolan's decision. After trading away a bunch of players, moving a lot of players who had huge contracts and freeing up all this cap space to try to land KD and Kyrie Irving this summer, decided not to go ahead and do it because KD's Achilles injury, he didn't want to deal with it, and he thought that he wasn't going to come back as strong of a player as he was. And of course, Kyrie Irving wanted to go to a system where he knew that Kevin Durant was going to go join him. So Knicks fans, you know, you can love it or hate it. You know what I'm saying? You do miss out on a franchise player in Kevin Durant, and well, both of those are Hall of Famers in my opinion, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And you know, both of them wanted to come to New York, come to the Mecca, and you know, try to revive the franchise. But Jim Dolan went ahead and passed on both those players. I don't know when the next big free agency dropping is gonna. They kind of dropped the ball on this one. Yeah, they definitely deserve to be first for 6 votes. Another 6 votes, Ricky Rubio of Phoenix. I don't see why people don't really like that. You know, you do get an aging Rubio and became a backup in the league. He played well in a great system for the Jazz, but I think a lot of credit goes to the Jazz coaching and their organization. They just have a wonderful thing in place for their players who I feel like can play really well, rotate really well on defense, and really move. They really move the ball. So I don't think, you know, a lot of people saying that, well, Devin Booker finally got a point guard to give him the ball, but you know, are they really going to be for him as well? So I believe they deserve, you know, a little less votes, and the Knicks definitely deserve way more votes than that, but they're tied, 6 votes for the Knicks and 6 votes for Rubio to Phoenix. And lastly, Terry Rozier to Hornets. Make sure y'all go check out my Hornets video, how they're going to be a great team coming up. Terry Rozier, he had his troubles in Boston. I'm pretty sure he had some problems with Kyrie as well. He went over to Hornets. The Hornets signed him to a pretty big deal. He was probably the best free agent point guard that was left that could replace someone to Kemba Walker. We still don't know his potential yet, so a lot of people hating on him, feeling like he won't play as well. I believe in Terry Rozier. I think he's going to perform moderately well. He may not be the point guard for the future, but let's just give it a shot. 4 votes for him. That's a little too much. I can't really think of any other bad moves this summer. A lot of players got signed to really big contracts. I mean, you can't really blame the Hornets. They make a lot of bad decisions when it comes to signing players and drafting players, but they've definitely turned that around and drafted some really good players. I say let's give it a shot. Let's let the young guys roll, and let's see what Terry can do for the Hornets this offseason. But that's going to be it into this video. Leave in the comments below if you feel like I missed another bad move this summer. If you feel like another player is the best player in the world, leave in the comments below. Let me know. I'll respond, and we can go ahead and have a debate about that. Go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for post notifications, and peace. I'm out.